you sleep good? Are you watching Pokemon? I love you. Good morning, YouTube. Again, I don't have any idea what this is gonna be, but I picked up a camera, so it's gonna be something. You saw that we went on a run, and that's not common for me at all. Last night I just told myself I was gonna do it, so I did it. I'm telling myself that this is my new morning routine. To wake up 5 o'clock, go for a run, have the sauna preheating, get in it 10-15 minutes, jump in the pool, get a shower, get to work, kiss the kids off, and start getting after it. So that's what we're gonna do. And to be honest, I'm just excited to share, because we got so many massive things happening, and life's just crazy right now. It's a life that I never expected that I would live. Team reform, coaching, it's just absolutely crushing right now. I mean, Prob is on an absolute headhunt. He's crushing anything that steps in his path. Sage and Emily are really picking up speed. I mean, the team is unified, which feels really, really good. And then something that we've been working on for the past 2 years and nobody knows about. We have a company called Pete that will be launching in the next 10 to 11 weeks. And it's going to change the coaching industry. Alexa, turn on podcast lights. So this is where most of my day is spent. Right here in front of a computer. Some days we could be here for 12 to 14 hours. It just depends. Now the day is Monday, which is usually a really hectic day. And I overloaded it again. So we have 4 consultation calls because of an athlete search that we did for reform. I have to pay our retainer fee for our developers today, and we have our heaviest check-in workload, about 40 check-ins that need to go out today. So let's get after it. Welcome back. You hadn't missed much. Mondays are pretty stagnant. As soon as we got the kids out of the door, did some client work this morning, got a good bit of check-ins done, had 4 consultation calls, all went really well. Now sitting down 12:25 to have lunch. Chicken and rice, pretty basic. Eat it every single day. And as I get better at this YouTube thing, of course, I'll share more things that I do, peptide protocols, diet, everything else. But for right now, we're just trying to figure out what this is. And we'll go into it in depth later in this video, but I think a cool way to talk about it is that I feel a shift happening. I mean, we're trying to build businesses that change generations, whether that be through our coaching company or whether that be through Pete and other things that we have in the pipeline. We don't know what the future holds yet, but it's exciting because we have an opportunity to build something that's bigger than any of us know right now and impact and change thousands and potentially even hundreds of thousands of lives. So I wanted just to start to document that, like whether it is a huge success or we fall short of our expectations, we don't know. But at the same time, I want to be able to look back at everything and have this documented. So not only can I look back and say, wow, look at how far we've come, but also I have something that my kids can look back and say, wow, look at what dad was able to do. At the end of the day, this is just a journal. This is not for anybody that is watching. I mean, hopefully you get some entertainment out of this, and I might be able to add some tips and tricks or viewpoints or something like that you can take away from this. But at the end of the day, this is for me to build the life that I know that I'm capable of living. So with that, I'm gonna get back to check-ins. We'll reconvene a little bit later. Now, I normally would do this in the morning, but it was a busy one, so kind of got a little behind on this, but I normally pop this fridge open and go through my peptide stack. So I know that I'm more than likely gonna get questions on this from nobody because nobody's gonna watch this video, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway. So for my dailies, one thing that I just implemented, 5 amino 1 MQ. I take that every single day. Clo, which will be a combination of BPC, TB, GHK, and KPV. And then NAD daily, which honestly has been a really big game changer in terms of energy production. That has been huge. On training days, IGF-LR3. 2 times per week for some metabolic health, I do take MOT-C, and that right now is the stack. Other than one spray, which is C-Max for some cognitive benefits. That's been great. But I'm about to roll through this peptide stack and then get back to work. So it was time to get some daily steps in. I actually went outside to do it, which I would normally do it to try to get some sunshine. But I got right down the road and then started getting rained on. So you can thank the Florida weather for that. But I'm very blessed to be able to have something in my home to be able to continue to keep this routine, to keep these steps in and to keep moving forward. And implementing things like this ultimately has been something that has just brought me back to center whenever I've needed it. And this hasn't always been how I've operated. Actually, very, very different. And I've had to implement so many different tactics of positive reinforcement because, as you've heard earlier in this video, we have a lot of ambition to do drastic things. And whenever you have those goals, you have to be able to learn how to ride the midline. Something that I teach clients on a lot is being able to ride that midline, because I see too many people, and I was one of these for a while, that we would celebrate the highs to such a magnitude that even whenever we found normalcy, it didn't feel like enough. And then whenever we would hit the lows, it would absolutely wreck us. The goal in life is to not always live so up here and not so down here, but be able to cruise that midline so you can find regulation. Your body, what we learn in science class that we never thought that we'd use, your body thrives in a homeostatic state, in homeostasis, in a neutral zone. So we have to be able to implement things through our day and allows us to get back within that balance. And steps is a great way to do that because it allows your brain to stop the focal point of go, go, go. If I'm sitting doing check-ins for 2 or 3 hours, I need something like this. And honestly, truth be told, it's these small implementations that has allowed this year of 2026 to be drastically different than what 2025 was. And I am now more open to sharing things like this, but 2025 was the hardest year that I have ever been on this earth. And that doesn't mean that it didn't come with its success, because it did. It was professionally one of the most, not one of the most, it was the most beneficial years of my entire career. We solidified 3 pro cards. Like, as a professional bodybuilding coach, we had reached a level that we had been working for. And I thought that it was I thought that's what I wanted. And to reach those milestones, I was like, my life's going to be so different now. And that's one of those where we keep living up here and just the normal just didn't feel like enough. And crazy enough, nothing changed. But I had put myself under so much mental and physical stress and turmoil to get to these places, and I wasn't implementing anything that was necessarily positive to keep my brain healthy and my soul healthy and ultimately just keep me moving forward. It was always just, what's next, what's next, what's next? And I remember so vividly the highlight of the year, or what should have been, was I solidified the first pro card that I have ever achieved. And Jamie got off stage and he was holding his pro card and he was hugging Alyssa, and it was just, that's such a joyous moment. It's for Jamie like the pinnacle of what he has worked for. As me as his coach, the pinnacle of what we have worked for. And I stood backstage and I watched it all go down, and I felt like a shell of a human. I was so just down-regulated. I could not even feel joy. And I didn't know what the heck was going on. And then whenever I got home, we were getting ready to go to church that Sunday, and I had a full-blown panic attack. And I didn't know how to regulate it. And mainly because, and me and my wife, Lindsay, we had to sit down and we really had to talk strategically about this. And when we started 2026, she said, you have to do something different. You have to take better care of yourself, or you're not going to be able to push like you have this past year and still move forward. And that's why we do things like this. That's why I'm doing things like the sauna and implementing running and making sure that my nutrition is in check and that my training is in check and that I'm able to be the leader that so many people look at me to do and so many people look at me to be, because I know that I'm destined for something so incredible. And I might not even know what that is yet. I might think that it's coaching. I might think that it's Peaked that's going to roll out soon. I might think that it's all of these things. But at the end of the day, like, I just want impact. I want to impact people. And I want to positively be something that people can look at and be like, wow, it's possible. And if we even get close to that goal, then I have done something right. But in the grand scheme of things, what I really want is I want my family to be grounded. I want my family to be secure. And that's why I like being able to have this outlet, being able to utilize YouTube as sort of a diary. Because of course our 3-year-old Baylor is in such a impressionable stage. She's 3 years old, terrible threes, or the three-nagers, or however you want to call it. And she needs me to be her dad. And then, of course, our 6-year-old Brooks, he has autism, and we're in a position that he might need me the rest of his life. We don't know what that's going to look like, but I do know that I'm going to work every single day to make sure that he never has to worry or struggle or ever even have a thought that we're not going to be able to show up for him financially, that he's never going to not have the resources that he needs. And that's why we work so hard to get into these positions. It's not so much to even change our world, it's to change their world. And at the end of the day, with it being now July of 2026, and looking back at what this past year and what 2025 ultimately brought me, was it allowed me to be in a valley for me to finally understand what path that I needed to be on in order to reach some sort of peak. And I can attribute that a lot to Lindsay, who she has just been a rock. She's been everything that I ever could have needed her to be as a partner, because she understands what I'm trying to do. She understands what I'm building for this family and for hopefully hundreds of thousands of people. And to be able to be the leader that I have to be to build a brand like this, she had to be that rock, and she had to step into that position. And she's done so, and she's really kept my head on straight. And then, of course, my faith. I would be nowhere without the guidance and the reassurance that God is watching over our family. And I am so confident. I'm so confident that I am destined for something more. And again, I don't know what that is yet, but I just keep feeling this pull that I am not done yet. And I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. But I'm going to make sure that these even small and monotonous tasks, where I can take 20 minutes out of the day to step away from my computer and actually regulate my system again, and then get right back to work. If I can do that, nothing's going to stand in my way. From the beginning to the end, every day that I wanted, every blessing I come home. It takes us something hard to get the center, and the hardest for the sin. Coldest for people that the storm blows, the people that and what looks like devastation is just death. Can I know? I know what I mean. I know what I'm worth. Big text this in his birth. Every breaking shoulder, every trial made another proof to your other side. Something cracked open, new start. He reached into the rubber. Every giant, in the land, I'm not the same anymore. So we're just catching back up. It is 6:18 in the afternoon. Just got done with back and biceps. Great workout, about an hour. But most of the morning consisted, y'all don't care about none of that. I don't care about a single thing about that. I'm like just describing my day. Like, I don't know how to do YouTube. That's a crazy, crazy concept. I said it earlier in this video that I just feel a pull. I feel a shift. I feel like there's something that I know is gonna be great. And I have to show up. It is what it is. I have to show up and be who I need to be for this. And if that means, whatever that means, I'm literally just gonna try everything. Like you saw already today, waking up at 5, going for a run, even though that freaking sucks. I hate every minute of it. I've said it in 5 to 6 check-ins today to people that I hate waking up in the morning. I think it is gobbledygook. The day should start around noon. I like to be cozy, comfy in my bed. And That's why I'm going to force myself to get up every single day at 5 o'clock. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make sure that I do not lose whatever edge I have right now, because something is going to happen. And I also said that I hate running, because who in their right mind wants to just go outside and put one foot in front of the other faster? Like, go kick rocks, dude. That sucks. It's so boring. It's the dumbest thing. And I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm actually starting to fall in love with it, which is scary. Dude, my brain is a weird place. Dude, it definitely keeps things interesting. But I'm excited about it. And even though, like, doing all that today, and to make sure that I'm also out here, this is another form of that accountability. I want to be a really, really hard guy to stop. And I don't want anything to get in my way. So I'm going to keep getting better at an accelerated rate. I love her with all my heart. Come see me, chicken.
I'm not a chicken, I'm Baylor.
Oh, that's right, Baylor. I'm sorry. I thought you were a chicken for a second. Do you have a handful of yogis?
Yeah.
Are they melted?
Mm.
That is my little three-nager. Gosh, she makes me mad. She is the coolest little girl. That's the wild part about the age that she's at, is because I'm able to talk to a little toddler that is me, in a nutshell, with little blonde curls. And she frustrates the hell out of me. But at the same time, it's fun. Talk to me about that.
Oh.
You about to hit some guns?
Look, Mommy.
What is this? Where'd this come from? Oh,
Is that cheese?
my God.
Kids are officially in bed. That means it's time for work block number 3. Really at night, I like to plan my day out for tomorrow to see exactly what we have to tackle. We have 4 mentorship calls in between 7:30 and 1. In between that, we have a list of other responsibilities for Peaked and Reform and clients and everything else in between. So we stay busy throughout the day, without question. And I think that that's a good area to tie all of this in, because obviously we have a lot going on. We have a thriving coaching business, which is doing extremely well, and we love that. We also have an up-and-coming coaching online platform that we have really, really high hopes for, and I think truly it's going to change the game. And then, of course, other projects outside of that, managing my own current roster. I have to be sharp. And I have to be able to make sure that I can show up as the person that I need to be, not only as the coach and the owner of the business, and then the owner and CEO of Peaked, and then as father and a husband, and all of these other roles and hats that we're going to wear throughout the day. I have to make sure that my cup is filled up and that I am in a place that I feel like I am truly maximizing my opportunity. And honestly, I've gotten to this point where I'm making this video and I'm going on the runs and I'm training the way that I am, and I'm working through all this uncomfortability because I look at the people who are in the position that I want to be in. And I see the Nick Bears and the Dom Icabrones and these men who have not only built extremely successful businesses, but also have done it and now are extremely good fathers. And that's what I want to do. So if I can take bits and pieces and emulate whatever they're doing to be able to find my own flow and rhythm to become this CEO, but at the same time, make sure that I am impacting along the way. So I have to keep these things so close to my hip. I have to be so ingrained within my faith and my relationship with God, because He has shown up for me throughout these, not even past couple of years, but throughout my entire life. And there's no reason that I should be in the position that I am right now other than just divine intervention, is what it comes down to. I'm extremely blessed and grateful to be in this position that I even have the opportunity to talk in front of this camera and start to tell my story. I don't know what the next one's going to be about, but I want to showcase what we're doing here. Which, before we leave, is probably a good opportunity for me to just show you. This is Pete, your all-in-one coaching platform system, and it's awesome. You have your business section with all of your CRM, your pipelines, your offers, your nurturing sequence, your payments, your onboarding. You have your coaching where you're going to have your roster, your clients, your training, your meal plans, your supplementation. It will have anything and everything that you need to run and operate a coaching business under one roof. It's pretty crazy, and I am so unbelievably honored to be able to roll this out and have people that I have never even met before use something that I created. Unbelievable. I love all of you. Thank you for being here. And Brooks, if you're watching this one day and you are older than 6 years old, this is for you, buddy. I'm going to make sure that you guys have the best life possible on this earth.